Welcome, everybody. We're here today. This is the Bitcoin ABC live stream with Jean-Baptiste of HoneyPay, a really interesting SLP app. And also here is Maurice Shea, lead developer of Bitcoin ABC, Anthony Zegers, technical operations manager at ABC, and myself, George Donnelly. Welcome, Jean-Baptiste. How are you doing today? Oh, you're silenced.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I'm really good, and you?
Doing great. So, I understand that you just released a new version of the HoneyPay website today.
Yes,
Is that right?
yeah. So today we deploy as the first the beta of our product. So it's really like a fantastic day for us. Like after all this hard work for for a couple of months to have something released. So now we are in phase for testing officially live in our website.
That's outstanding.
Yeah, sorry.
That's great. Can you give us a little overview of what the HoneyPay app
Yeah,
is about?
Yeah, sure. So HoneyPay provides loyalty program based on the Japanese point card system. Basically, for each purchase that you will do, you will get 1% back of what you paid in points. So in our case, in royalty token. And basically, we are providing like all a set of tools around this that basically has all the other system, like basically all the other company that has already loyalty programs. They have like a bunch of tools, and we provide, like, for example, for medium or small businesses that doesn't have necessarily this, and we can see a lot still with, for example, paper or without any loyalty program. So to provide, like, to be able to re-engage your customer. So we have like a merchant portal that we released today, also a beta. And the big thing that we have today, it's an integration with Square, what is a huge POS, like available for millions of merchants now, I think, like a couple of million. So that is really great. We can see more and more businesses in Japan, for example, using Square. So it was one of the big things made us a decision to integrate Square. And we expect to have more and more POS coming soon. And also what of a big request from customers from this kind of pandemic period, like with the corona. We leverage the fact that we were integrated with POS to provide a digital menu and in the same time in-shop ordering. So basically, when you're in a shop now, the customer, like the merchant from that subscribe to HoneyPay, will basically stick a QR code on the table, and the customer will just like scan the QR code, can browse the menu, select the items that you want to buy, and you will just order straight at the table. And then the order will arrive straight in the POS on Square for the merchant. So basically, he will just do what he is good to, like cooking, providing nice services, and us, we provide like all of this for the customers. So it's like a big plus for now that we provide with the launch for merchants, and also like coming soon, like some ambassador programs that we are going to launch in the coming weeks. So yeah, a couple of things that we will launch later, and we are really excited about all coming soon. So yeah, basically it's HoneyPay.
Yeah, that's really, especially the integration with Square, I think is really interesting. You know, I think you're really thinking out of the box there, because everybody's focused on payments, but to almost compete with Square sometimes. But you focused more on integrating SLP as reward points, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like we saw a lot of people, yes, focusing on payments, but actually currently there is a lot of POS already on the market, and actually HoneyPay did the mistake like before, like we started to do a POS at the beginning, and we quickly understand that the merchants that we love and our favorite shop, we are using Square, for example, and we really wanted to have them using, for example, our system. So we basically just talked with them, and they were really excited by our product. And we said, like, okay, let's go for integrating Square. and it takes like a couple of times like to really find a way to integrate it. But yeah, once it's integrated, it's really exciting. Like actually, we hopefully we will deploy this on a couple of other POS, hopefully in Japan, like some other big POS. But yeah, it's I think definitely the way to go today to integrate with existing POS, because there is already a lot on the market.
So how about I share, because let's take a look at this new website that you have.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think I should have honeypay.io up on the screen now. So yeah, just give us any maybe you can walk us through this screen a little bit.
Yeah, sure. For example, as we can see, like the setup is really easy. Like for example, it's really a plug and play with Square. So if today you have a merchant that you really like and is using Square, and you would like to get loyalty tokens, you can just, like for example, onboard him really quickly. Like you click on the button in the top right, like merchant portal. If you can click on the merchant portal, the bottom in the top right. Exactly here. And so in the bottom, you can click on sign up. Sorry, sign up. So yeah, basically, it's really like, for sure, this will be mostly will be automated later. There is a lot of progress that we plan to do, but basically, like with only few fields that the merchant will set up in this form, the merchant will be automatically plugged to our system. So basically, it doesn't need to do anything. So we will provide a menu, we will digital menu, we provide loyalty token, everything automatically on the purchase. So each time a customer will pay, will make a purchase to his shop, he will receive a loyalty token. So it's really super simple. Honestly, in 2 minutes, you can set up someone and he's ready to go. I could explain maybe later a bit more what we have inside our panel, but a lot. So as you can see a bit in top, you have like the several feature. So you can really like, if you just slide a bit in top in the.
Sorry, slide what?
Yes, if you can go scroll up, sorry. Scroll up. Yeah. So if you check the list of the feature for the merchant, mostly in top. Sorry. If you click on business on the link business.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is all that we can provide, and you can also re-engage your customers. So basically, one of the big problem also that as today, like mostly medium and small businesses that I could see, it's they don't have any way to re-engage their customer. So they don't have any way to talk with them, and that is also something that we are providing with our loyalty program. So basically, once someone receives one of your points, you can re-engage him. You can send him push notification. You can airdrop some points, etc., etc. So like we are like building also analytics for you to have a better understanding how your customer is behave. So yeah, we are really providing like interesting things. And for now, we are in beta, so everything is free. So merchant can set up for free today. We are going to we will have a monthly fee when we will be live. So basically, it should like start around $25 for a first package for small business. But yeah, it's really a great set of tools for businesses, and a good way also for crypto to be spread, because loyalty token, like loyalty points, so today everybody has loyalty points. So it's also a great way to spread this fantastic technology as well.
So I'm curious about how the loyalty points work. So does it allow each merchant to basically create their own loyalty points, or
yes,
how does that work?
So it's exactly this. So today it's right. You have a lot of like website where they just propose you to accept their points, but that is not Honeypay. Honeypay, a merchant will create their own points. So for example, if you can see the picture here, there is like text point. It's a point of a merchant. So each merchant, when they plug to Honeypay, so when they create their accounts at Honeypay, they create the point. So they can choose a point name. And so basically, they will have their own point system.
Okay.
They really have all their own point system and all the benefits that they have around. And yeah, so basically, it is they have really their own points and they can play with it.
I'm also curious, like you mentioned SLP, so the points are based on SLP. So you said the points are based on SLP tokens. I'm just curious, like what advantage that gives you, or what that allows you to do with the points. It sounds sort of interesting.
Yeah, so basically the points is it provides you like a security, security, interoperability. So like there is a lot, there is like transparency. So using crypto today, using blockchain for points provide you a lot of great properties that doesn't necessarily see the merchant, but for the merchant, it will provide him a lot of opportunity, I will say. So it's more in the opportunity that he will have. So for example, if you want to make, for example, an ICO for potential investment. So if you want to launch his point on a market, so it opens a lot of possibility for the merchant, for more than just like properties that I give just before. So yeah, the video is coming soon, so it's not yet available.
Oh, right. Okay.
So yeah, we are really excited about it, about this launch. We now the project officially started 1 year ago. It was just talk, and yeah, so we were really excited to see all this work. There were a lot of work also on the branding, Honeypay with a B, that people really love it. Actually, we did a couple of meetup, and people love the B and the branding. So yeah, yeah, we are really excited in Honeypay. Yeah.
So we have a question from the chat. Which countries will this be available in?
So today is worldwide, so there is no border for Honeypay. It's available anywhere, and Square as well. Square is available anywhere. So I'm sure you could find a merchant with Square around you. The only blocker for Square it's a credit card. So sometimes merchant can't accept credit card in some countries, but otherwise Square is worldwide. So so at first I will maybe give a quick introduction of which country we will focus. So for now we will focus in Japan, in Australia, in Thailand, Vietnam, and Luxembourg. So that is the countries that we will really focus, because basically we have already a network there. So we are going to spread the product there. But if you're in another country and you would like to spread the product as well, you can contact us anytime in hello@honeypay.io. And you can just contact us and let us know which merchant you would like to onboard or to have, or you can share your favorite merchant, and we could help you to get him on board. And once again, we have a super exciting ambassador program that we are working on now since a couple of weeks, and hopefully we could provide it at the end of the next month. So yes, we are really working on this ambassador program because we believe like it can be a really great way to onboard, and we can see Bitcoin Cash is work a lot about with ambassador in different countries. So yeah, basically we are definitely working on it. So it's worldwide.
So what's another question from the chat? What's the discovery mechanism for customers? Is there a map or something?
Yes, exactly. For the discovery, the option of map, if you download today the app, you will see coming soon. So we don't provide it yet because we are waiting to have much more merchant, because for now we just have like few merchants that were actually already on board before, but like we are waiting to have much more merchant. But yes, basically it will be a map where you could discover all the merchants using Honeypay around you, where you can collect your loyalty token.
So it does, for now, it does depend on the merchant using Square. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. In the future, will it work without Square, or is it always going to be paired with Square?
For now, we're only plugged to Square. We decided to really focus only on Square. However, we can, that I mean is like there is still a way to airdrop your token without Square, but for now it's only Square. So if you want to use it, the person need to use Square. Honestly, Square is really easy to set up. Like in 2 minutes, you set up. You just put an email, a password, a name, and that's it. Until you don't want to get cash, until you want to get, sorry, all your payment in cash or other payments, in Square is set up in 2 minutes, honestly, and really easy. And once you want to get like credit card payments and all the payments from Square, it will take like 1 or 3 business days. So, and I think like in the countries that we are targeting, Square is really like well used. So, so yeah. But if you have like any other POS that you would like us to integrate, please let us know. Once again, send us an email at hello@honeypay.io. Ask your merchant around you which POS they are using, and just share to us, and we will really be happy to contact them and to try to onboard them.
So I also see there's something about a points marketplace.
Yes, that is really like the, I will not say the end, but like really the next phase. So after being live, that is something that we would like to launch to be able for the customer to exchange his points. For example, if he's cross-border, so for example, I don't know, you travel in Japan, you got some points in Japan, but you will never use it because you go back to France because you were just there for like 2 weeks of holidays. So maybe you would like to exchange your points with like a Japanese person without knowing necessarily Japanese, but like exchange with Japanese and go to. So basically, the point market, it's still under construction. But yeah, it's really like it will be the next phase. So it will be not available now. And yeah, so basically it will be this, and it will like pair with Oni points. So we would like to launch our point as well. So name Oni point that will expose every merchant point that accept to be there. And yeah, so basically it's how it will work.
So you see eventually like all of the tokens that the users create, the merchants, they would be exchangeable for your Honey Points SLP token.
Exactly.
Ah, that's interesting.
Exactly. And our Honey point you could exchange later with BCH or any other crypto.
Mm-hmm. That's really interesting.
Until,
I mean,
until the merchant, like once again, after the merchant, if he want us, we are like also advisor, so we can help him to go to the market with like us, for example. So we will like advise him if he want to like create an ICO, for example, and we will help him with the contacts that we have in exchanges to make sure this happen.
That's interesting. So, for example, in Venezuela, there is a chain of stores, kind of like the Walmart of Venezuela, called Traki, and they've adopted crypto a little bit. So it might be interesting for like a Traki to launch their own SLP rewards token.
Yeah, exactly. If they have like they're using a specific point of sale, just like let us know to take contact with this point of sale, and we can collaborate together, make partnership, and integrate them. Yes, I can definitely use this system. It can work like yes, perfectly.
So we have a question from the chat from Bitcoin Cast. He says $25 a month seems a little high for some businesses that might not sell that much via Square or in crypto. Have you considered taking a fee from each transaction?
Basically, that we are doing is the plan for concerning the fee. It will be a monthly fee. So basically, the $25, it's a package of transaction. So basically, you have a package of transaction, and until you stay in this limit that we consider far enough for a small business. But if you like start to have like more, for example, more point of sale. So for example, because more location, sorry. If you have more location, you start to grow your business, and that we wish to you. So in that case, maybe you will need a bigger package. So we will have a package for medium business, and then after the third one, it will be as you go. So basically, it's like AWS or Firebase. Like it will be basically based on transaction, and yeah. So we will have these three kind of packages. But if the person has like some feedback to give to us, once again, like we are open minded. Just like share us like an email, hello@onipay.io, and we can talk and discuss about this.
Excellent. And I put that email in the description of the video. I'll also drop it into the chat in a second here. So here's a question for Amaury and Anthony. How do the ABC developers see SLP tokens in general compared to the cash use case? What are the trade-offs at the protocol level?
Can you go on, Tony? This is noisy on my end.
What's that? Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know. It's a tough question for me. I mean, I think basically we want to enable any use case as much as possible. So as long as it complements, like personally, I'm interested in things that like complement the cash use case. So I think this is a good example, like SLP tokens that can, you know, interact with like the merchant's business seems like a good thing. And I guess just having the nice thing about SLP is that it's pretty easy, like it's pretty lightweight. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't really have any like downsides protocol wise. Like it's pretty, you know, it's not invasive in the protocol. Let's put it that way. Like it's just a simple thing, and you could, you know, so I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion on it. Basically, one.
Yeah, I don't think it really presents that significant of a trade-off, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it just drops some data in is it op return?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's more transactions, right?
Yeah.
That's good. And it gets people thinking about Bitcoin Cash, you know, as they get deeper into it, they're like, how does this work? What's this based on? Oh, Bitcoin Cash. Oh, it's this whole other world, and I'm already using it. So
I mean, from my perspective, like I don't know that much about all the different token use cases. So I'm basically just learning about it and find it pretty interesting what people are doing. Like I guess I see it as like it's nice to have a platform that people can do various innovative and creative things on it. So I'm like really happy to see what HoneyPay is doing with it. It's sort of just a new interesting thing for me to learn about at this point.
The whole SLP thing, I think, is really interesting because, like, if you look at somebody like the RNU token, basically they're taking everybody who has a renewable energy production installed, and they are airdropping those people SLP tokens based on their productive capacity of renewable energy, you know, such as solar, wind, etc. And so I think it's really interesting. This is like another different way from HoneyPay. You know, anytime somebody has something that they're already doing, you can kind of currencyize it, you know, by airdropping them some currency relative to what some SLP tokens relative to the amount of whatever that is that they're doing. And it can incentivize new behaviors and actually give real value to or has the potential to give real value to the SLP token. So I think that's another interesting use of SLP.
In terms of like talking about the cash use case, I think the question was like, one of the nice things about SLP is that they're just on BCH outputs. So like you'd mentioned airdropping, so like it allows you to airdrop BCH, say, to all token holders, or to, you know, to pay dividends out to token holders, or like so I find that aspect pretty interesting. Maybe that's like a good question for Jean-Baptiste. Like you mentioned airdrops. Like is there any tie-in with that? Like what did you said something about doing airdrops to token holders and so on.
Yeah, when I talk about airdrop is basically, for example, you're my customer and I can just airdrop your token. So for example, I can drop you anytime. So for example, I don't know, I want to do a geeks, a geek like on Twitter, on whatever. I can just airdrop you tokens right away. So it's a way. When I was talking about airdrop, I was talking in this kind of use case when you want to airdrop to someone, to a customer especially, or for example, I don't know, you messed up something with a customer and you want just to apologize. You will airdrop some points. I was more talking about these things, but like
Okay.
jump quickly on about Bitcoin Cash. I think like Bitcoin Cash today, it's I will not necessarily talk about Bitcoin Cash, but maybe in general, like that. I mean, we are providing a fantastic system, and the problem we are like a electric like a nuclear central. Like we are providing a fantastic, not fantastic maybe because maybe not fantastic if I say about ecolo, like if I'm talking about green, but that I mean is like we are providing a lot of energize, a lot of capacity, but we need applications today use it and to show to the world how it's powerful. And the thing is like it's something that we miss today. And I think we need application generating transactions, so either SLP or cash use case, any use case that people can find that match perfectly for the application. But we really need applications, like for example, OniPay or maybe other, to create like this use case of this blockchain and make it like show to the world that it's working.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like getting back to the question now that I've thought about it a bit more, like that's like basically what we want from a protocol point of view. Like you want something that you just want a protocol that's fairly neutral and allows people to do various creative things on top of it. So in terms of tokens, like, it doesn't like we just want something where people can do anything, any creative thing as much as possible.
Yeah, exactly. Like Bitcoin Cash has a lot of great properties, and I think we should show to people that they can build a lot of great application on Bitcoin Cash, and it's really something also that we are trying to do here in OniPay. We believe in this technology since like maybe 2 years or 3 years that I started in Bitcoin Cash. I'm not sure exactly, but like for a couple of years. And yeah, I think it's a perfect use case to show to the world that Bitcoin Cash is ready for it and can handle it. So really excited.
So, question from the chat: would HoneyPay be possible using ERC20 tokens? And what are the biggest differences between ERC20 and SLP?
I will just like give a really simple explanation. I will just say, for making the calculation, I will say the fee. Basically, it's all about it. Honestly, I make calculation, I check the fee, and I had my like Excel sheet. I said Bitcoin Cash, ERC20. Sure, there is like different properties. I'm not an expert in ERC20, so I just don't want to fall in a trap. Huh? But maybe like because SLP, it's like it's a like it's a software that verify really the token, so you can potentially make mistake, or like it's not as how I can say as strong as ERC in terms of verification, in terms of when you're making your transaction. Like, but that I mean is like when you check the fee, it's like it is that make you the choice actually that you want something cheap to make your transaction, right? And a blockchain that can handle the load. So, and basically there is not so much choice. So I will definitely say just the fee.
That's yeah, that's really interesting. So what about, so comes to mind a topic, fractional satoshis, right? That's on the roadmap. Fractional satoshis is the idea that we're going to make Bitcoin Cash more precise than just 8 decimal places. We're going to add some more decimal places, right? Do you think that is of any interest or relevance to SLP and to what you're doing? Do you think it would be helpful to be able to have sub Satoshi transaction fees in the future, for example?
I think it's a good question that we could ask to Jens Kramer, one of the origin guy from SLP. So I think he will be more. He will have like a better answer than me on this question. I think if you increase decimal, potentially it means you could pay. I'm not sure how you will really calculate the fee, but it means if you increase the decimal, it means maybe you could decrease. No, even that it could not work actually. So I have no idea if it can change something. But honestly, I did not expect this kind of question, so maybe we can drop it to Amaury. Maybe you could have a better idea about it. But like I think all is about rates. So I suppose if we increase decimal, maybe the rate, like I'm talking about the price of BCH on the market, can change also. I'm not sure how it will react. So I think there is so much parameters, like not really sure about what we can answer to this kind of questions. So I will drop to Amaury.
Do you want to comment, Amaury, or you're silenced?
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Yeah, so I think if we want to be filter proof, we kind of need to be able to have fractional satoshis, just because the granularity that we have is actually not that good. Like if you run the number and you assume like, you know, a great adoption across the globe, then the granularity that we have in terms of satoshi is not that great. And so as a result, and you know, like by the time you get there, you cannot really change it anymore. Like there are way too many people and way too many apps deployed to change something like that. So I think that, you know, if our goal is to deploy things worldwide, then we need to make sure that we fix those kind of stuff while we can.
So we have a question from Telegram. Does ABC see SLP contributing as a gateway to non-users of crypto and even non-BCH users to finally jump down the BCH rabbit hole? And how can we best measure SLP as being this onboarding mechanism?
I don't know, but I think this is like, you know, this system is permissionless. And this is one of the great feature of it is that we don't need to have a great plan that is set ahead of time by someone for this kind of stuff, right? We can have people deploy different systems with SLP, and some of them will fail and some of them will get traction. And the one that get traction are going to bring new users. And we don't need to, you know, we don't need to set up everything ahead of time. So yeah, you know, like you just have to let people do stuff. We cannot predict the future, and we need to be humble enough to know that.
All right. So here's a question. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I'll hop in on that point too. Yeah, like I think that SLP, I mean, from like SLP is also just one token protocol. Like in theory, there could be others too. So it's nothing about it is hard coded into Bitcoin Cash specifically. Like, and I think in terms of like strategy, like the person said, like, okay, what's our strategy for like, you know, spreading adoption and being successful? Like basically, like making things easy to use right now and providing an environment where businesses can do creative things easily is an important thing. But that's like, we don't have to specifically know like or have some idea of exactly what will be done. So this is a good example. Like I never anticipated, you know, this particular business case. So it's sort of interesting to see someone doing that. So I think like that's one problem. Like you want to create an environment where people can build businesses right now and have it sort of be easy to use and low fees and all that stuff. And then the other thing you want is like a future plan where this whole system can grow and scale into the future. So that's basically where the roadmap comes in and infrastructure development and so on. So that, you know, and say we do onboard tons of businesses and people build all these cool products and start using BCH for payments and all this stuff. You know, you want to not run into a wall in 5 years from now or something. So that's where we want to like say, okay, we're going to grow and scale the system also. So I think there's like those two. There's kind of it's kind of like a two-pronged approach, I guess.
So we have a question from the chat. Can you share any more details about the HoneyPay Ambassador program? And what are the incentives for ambassadors? Or if you haven't nailed that down, what might those be?
It's a great question, because once again, I can't really detail too much about ambassador program, because once again, we are still polishing the terms and deciding what exactly, which, just like right points, which incentive that we are trying to bring in. So yeah, I can't really answer this question like with the detail, but we definitely are thinking about what to give to ambassador. And yes, there is definitely rewards that will get ambassadors. So maybe potentially in Honey points or in rewards that the customer, that the person will bring. So when that is one thing that we are doing in HoneyPay. It's when we are like onboarding a merchant, the merchant agree on providing us a person like an amount of points that we can after redistribute to our customers, to the final customers. So maybe something from there. So we are really like trying to find a good balance between everything to make sure the person that onboard merchants can get a piece of cake. But yes, we are still polishing it, and we will like make an announcement on what we are providing definitely in, I think, like a couple of weeks.
Cool.
Once we are stable.
So there will definitely be cake involved for ambassadors.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's like it's like everything. Like you can't take all the cake, so it's important to share a piece of cake for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Excellent. So another question from the chat. Assuming that HoneyPay is very successful, something of course we all want to see. How many additional transactions per day, or what percentage of network transactions are you aiming to come from HoneyPay?
It's a good question. As much as we can, but we don't aim in transactions. We just aim on merchant, because the most important is to have impact across the world. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to spread as quick as we can the product. The reason why we are integrating directly to POS, to existing POS, and trying to build partnership. So yeah, basically we just try to share the brand and to give and to try to educate people in crypto step by step, slowly, and put some crypto in the hand of everyone. So we are already targeting the mass with this, and we are trying to we are expecting to success. So yeah, we are already excited. I think like in everything, like there is like 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. So today, like yesterday, people were with paper, and it's still there. I can see a lot in Japan, for example, like businesses with card, like point card in paper, and then we got like digital, and now we are starting to like provide. We are like going to the next step with loyalty token, and me that I'm calling like 3.0. So we expect to make this big change and to educate as much as we can customers. So yeah, we are really excited about it, and we are really like expecting to have a lot of people becoming ambassador. And so it's for that we are really taking it seriously, because we really want to leverage this community that is doing really a fantastic job for example, on Bitcoin Cash on several countries. And especially, for example, in Australia or like Vietnam and Thailand, they are doing a lot of great job, and even across the world in general, in Venezuela also, for example. And yeah, so we are really excited about this program, and we are really working on it seriously. It was just like really tough days, these last days, because of the launch. But once we have all the application on the stores that we are like actively working on, and all polish and set up, etc., we will definitely bring this ambassador program to share, to spread this product to the mass.
Outstanding. So what about like small businesses? Like you know, I live in Latin America, and most of the businesses here are pretty small, mom and pop level still, and may not even have any kind of modern you know, POS system. So is it? Would it be possible, or you know, something contemplated for the future, maybe, where there's a workflow, you know, to give out reward points that doesn't involve integration with a third party point of sale system?
Actually, at the beginning, when we started Honeypoint, we started a POS, but actually it was, I will not say almost done, but almost, but we just completely changed the system. Not completely, but like we started on existing POS. So basically, we have already a good base on it. So it's definitely something that we could provide later on, because like currently we are really focusing on closing this beta. But yeah, we can definitely provide an application, a really light application to just airdrop tokens to customers. So yeah, I think it was kind of already in the plan. We just like stopped to spend time because we know that is not the way to go if we want to spread to mass. But yeah, we can definitely keep in our roadmap, and just like send us email, show us like your interest. So just send again like email to hello@onipay.io. Send us like a message and say like, I'm really interested by Onipay. And if we have like a lot of requests, we will definitely polish this application and publish it.
Cool. So we have a question from Telegram for the ABC team. So how supportive is ABC of SLP questions versus, you know, say other full nodes?
Can you repeat the question?
So how supportive of SLP is ABC versus other full nodes?
I don't know. We are pretty neutral as far as SLP goes. We just want people to use the chain, and if they want to use SLP, that's great. And if they want to do something else with the chain, that's great as well. We're not like, yeah, we don't have any like specific position on SLP specifically. I think, you know, our goal is to allow people to build stuff like SLP, you know, but we don't have a horse in this race. Like, you know, there used to be Wormhole that was pretty big. It's not as big. It seems like SLP won that race, right? But as far as we're concerned, if people want to do Wormhole, if people want to do SLP, or if people want to do something else, that's just as good, you know.
So what would a like a competing token protocol on Bitcoin Cash look like? You know, like what could it do that would offer some kind of value proposition different than SLP?
Well, if we take the example of Wormhole, for instance, it has way better smart contract capabilities than SLP does. Because SLP just, you know, leveraged the smart contract capability that exists in Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is a UTXO model, whereas typically platform with very rich smart contract feature work on an account model, like Ethereum works on an account model, for instance, and it makes it easier to do, like the account model makes it easier to do various smart contract kind of stuff. But the flip side of that is that it makes the system less scalable and more complex in various ways. So because we're targeting worldwide adoption with Bitcoin Cash, we are still using the same model as Bitcoin used forever, which is the UTXO model. And that has, you know, that has some constraint when it comes to smart contracts. And Wormhole has its own engine to run smart contract, doesn't use the smart contract that are on the chain, and as a result can do much more stuff there. So that would be the type of trade-off that could exist between different systems.
So just to piggyback on what Amori's saying, and like those two token systems kind of provide an example of like how there's different ways you could design a token system and different trade-offs. And that's so I guess going back to the first question, I'd say like our attitude is basically like to not code that stuff into the protocol. So you want to have like a neutral platform where people can build different things on top of it. So SLP, like we don't know whether SLP or or wormhole or some other thing that someone comes up with makes for a better token system. But what you want to do is basically provide a neutral platform that lets people try all kinds of different things, and not like have to code all like if you decided in advance, like okay, we're gonna put something in the protocol for wormhole, for example, then you're kind of stuck on that system, and maybe it's not the best trade.
Yeah, consider like
use case or whatever.
In the early days of internet, there was email and various social stuff, but the internet protocol was not designed around those specifically. And so when Tim Berners-Lee came up with the idea of the World Wide Web, for instance, he could implement it on the internet because the internet did not, bake a specific protocol in its implementation. And so as a result, now we have the web, which is probably the most successful application that has been deployed on the internet. And also later on, we have Bitcoin, for instance, or other peer-to-peer system like BitTorrent and this kind of stuff that have been deployed. And this wouldn't have been possible if in the internet protocol themselves, there was assumption baked in about what runs on top of it. And it's not possible to be as agnostic as what is on top of it with Bitcoin type system, because you need to it's more complicated because you have all this consensus problem and the fact that you want to avoid double spend and all of that, and so everybody needs to know about everybody else and so on. So it's a bit more complicated, and we cannot be as agnostic about what runs on top of it, but we want to be agnostic as much as possible to what runs on top of it. Because you don't know, like maybe in 2 years, someone is going to have like an awesome idea about how to do tokens that is way better than everything that we are thinking about right now. And they will be able to deploy that.
Yeah. Or maybe it won't even be tokens. Like maybe there'll be some other.
Yeah, maybe it will be something that we don't even know what that is yet.
Yeah.
So another question from the chat for Jean-Baptiste. Is there a way for HoneyPay to work with the Bitcoin Cash Register app from bitcoin.com?
For now, it's not really possible. Yeah, there is no yeah, it will like working with Square once again. It's like fully working with Square. But if we have a lot of requests from people like contacting us on our email, and they really need to have an application like previously we call it HoneyPay Business. If people really require this application that help just to type an amount and take points and reward points, sorry, we will definitely provide it. And for the merchant app, if they want to be integrated, they need to contact us. So yeah, once again, contact us and let us know exactly what you're looking for, and we, depending on how many requests we have, we will prioritize things.
Cool. So yeah, I mean, here at Bitcoin ABC, I think it's important for us that we build solid foundation for businesses, like yours. So what attracted you in the first place to Bitcoin Cash?
Basically, when I joined at the beginning, I was not crypto at all. I didn't know anything about crypto, I will be honest. I think because the first time I discovered about crypto, I think it was, I heard a bit about Bitcoin for sure, but I never really looked at it. I was just looking at blockchain in general. Like basically, I was looking at some blockchain like Hyperledger or this blockchain like enterprise blockchain, etc. But I never like really check blockchain like public blockchain, Bitcoin, etc. Just looking like the market. And when I joined for the first time like Bitcoin.com, and it's from there I really like started to look at how it works, and I become like really really fan of actually about this blockchain and what the blockchain propose after like understanding how works the other blockchain and what is the difference, etc., etc. So yeah, basically everything started from there, and it's from yeah my job at Bitcoin.com, where I was like wallet engineer. I was engineer in the wallet team, and then after I lead the wallet team for like 1 year and a half around. It's from there that I really become passionate by Bitcoin Cash and how it works. And yeah, so I don't know if it answers the question.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's right. You used to work at Bitcoin.com, and you worked on the Bitcoin.com wallet. Is that right?
Yes, exactly. So basically, yes, I was working on the previous wallet and the creation of the new wallet and the new backend, etc., etc.
Cool. Very interesting. Yeah. The whole wallet, mobile wallet thing is of great interest to me because I want to make a mobile wallet kind of like a 2.0, you know, because I think today's wallets are kind of HODL wallets, you know, like I want to make a 2.0 wallet that incentivizes people to do things around Bitcoin Cash, you know. So I think what your project definitely falls into that kind of like level 2.0, you know, like not less of a HODL wallet, like I just have my coins here, bam, passive, done. Yeah. And more of a action wallet, like a Buido wallet, you know. And so yeah, I think your app HoneyPay falls into that kind of category.
Thank you. Yeah, we were really excited about it. Once again, we had like ideas since we had this idea since 1 year, like for 1 year, and yeah, so thinking a lot. We had a lot of. I was like lucky because I was in the wallet team, so I could interact a lot with merchants and with Akane, for example, and all the feedback from Akane and all her team. And when she was in Bitcoin.com, like we exchange a lot about merchant on what is the problem and what they are looking for, and etc. etc. So yeah, learn a lot about the market also, and yeah, so really excited to be able like to provide a tool that doesn't need any knowledge in terms of crypto. So that it was really a huge issue. I think, in my opinion, in most of wallets, there is a lot of technical things that people doesn't really necessarily understand, and like be able to hide all of this and to make something really easy and smooth to use for users that doesn't know anything about crypto. It's really a huge challenge. And like one of my colleague in Honeypay, Alfonso Rocha, that has a lot of experience in product management. Yeah, we were also in the same team in the wallet team actually in Bitcoin.com. And yes, it was like a huge challenge when we started to build the new wallet on how to make it really like easy to use and smooth. And yeah, so it's we try to bring all our experience and about all the feedback that we got also from people that doesn't know anything about crypto, to bring all of this in OnlyPay and to make a product like really smooth and easy. This really is a keyword, easy to use.
Absolutely. Very cool. So yeah, so like I was saying before, I think it's so important to us at ABC, Bitcoin ABC, to build a solid foundation, right? To provide that solid foundation for businesses.
We need all of this core node developer like to provide like I think like they are doing a fantastic jobs in the beginning, and I know like I don't do politics, so that is great in OnlyPay. We don't need to do politics with core nodes and all of this. I know there is a lot of politics, so sometimes it could be great to like put the weapon on the ground and like just focus on making Bitcoin Cash a great technology. Yeah, so definitely I think everybody like in the core node, like all the core nodes, like are doing fantastic job to make it make this happening. Like without your product, guys, we couldn't make HoneyPay to the world. So so thank you very much, guys, for all that you're doing, and I wish you could continue to do it. There is also one thing really interesting that I saw, and I was like really thinking why it cannot be established yet about donation, about how works all this money about around the core developer. And me, like for example, as Onipay, like a product using blockchain, like Bitcoin Cash, I think because I had in my head like for a couple of weeks about why, for example, I know like the miners are taking a fee on the Coinbase with the Coinbase on the Bitcoin Cash blockchain, but I was really thinking why the core developers, for example, building a node, why they don't take also a small fee on each transaction to make sure they can continue to work and make this fantastic job that they're doing. Because once again, without all these core developers, we will not have all these fantastic technologies that we have today, and we couldn't build all these fantastic products. So I was really thinking like why we could not agree about having, for example, like a percentage of fee for like giving directly to the core developers to continue to build their product, the product that we use. I was thinking about something like this was not yet in place to make sure Bitcoin Cash can continue to grow and reach the roadmap that they have.
It's an interesting thought for sure. So, yeah.
It's a tough question.
Yeah, I think so.
So Jean-Baptiste, like I'm just curious, like were you aware of that whole question, like that was hotly contested topic before, or did you just come up with this idea?
No, but just like this idea I had since the beginning. I don't know about Willy stories or whatever, but just I'm saying like I'm not necessarily aware about if there is like fully a story or something. But basically, I just know like these kind of things can really make like core developer continue to do what they are doing and to make sure they don't have any influence from anybody in the space. Like for example, I don't know, me, I put I don't know 1 million on the table and I want to have a direction for the blockchain or something like this. So I believe like so once again, it's not politics, it's nothing. It's just like I'm just thinking as just as an engineer, I'm thinking like if you want to continue technology continue to grow and to reach the goals that there is like in the roadmap, why like there is not a fee like this? Because like we are thinking, we are saying thanks to the miners, right? We are giving like a Coinbase to the miners. We're saying thank you very much, guys. You're running the blockchain, right? So it's kind of similar. Like the developers, they are like also kind of running the blockchain because they are building the product, right? That the miner run. So I find of kind of legitimate. It's not a story about capitalist or something like this. Huh? You're not doing that. You're just, it's normal like to core developers to survive and like to have at least a minimum amount to continue to grow this this technology, right? So just like makes sense. So just for that.
Yeah, so I don't know. Oh, you're not finished. You froze for a moment, Jean-Baptiste.
Okay. Sorry. So yes, I was just saying like I had in mind this idea since like a couple of weeks, and I think like we are in a live stream, so maybe some people want to participate to this conversation. Like maybe the community want to share some comments about it. I'm really curious about what the community think about it. But I believe if we really want to have like a robust solution, we should like trust the core developers to provide like a robust solution. So when I say core developers, I'm not talking about only ABC. It can be every node, right? so that can provide, can get these funds to continue to build what they're doing.
So something similar to what you described was put to a vote recently. It created a lot of tension in the community. I think a lot of those tensions come from places that you hint at in your description. You're like, okay, we don't want some well-funded party to send the protocol in some direction that we don't want to. And well, I think I think there are well-funded party that would really want that, you know. And so there is a fair amount of opposition around that, and that is not just the well-funded party, right? Because once you have well-funded party that are willing to do that, then you have a bunch of people that are willing to take money from those well-funded party to go along with it. So that was highly contentious, and that didn't happen. But I would like to remind people some numbers. Like the last big fundraiser that happened in the community raised about 500K US. That seems like a lot, maybe, but that's actually very, very small. If you compare, so Bitcoin Core put, I'd say, like between Chaincode Lab and Blockstream and MIT Media Lab and, you know, like those few companies that built the protocol, they probably put together something between 10 and 20 million, I'd say, a year building that. Ethereum put about the same. And even if you look at much smaller project, I'm thinking about the Avalab recently, because I know a few people there, and they recently closed a round of fundraiser, so that's a good opportunity to get numbers there. They raised 18 million for a project that is, you know, just new, that is way, 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 way smaller than BCH is, but they still raised 18 million. And so by far, like BCH is funded, the infrastructure of BCH is funded maybe like an order of magnitude less than other competitors of similar size. And we can always argue that, well, you know, we can do things like so much more efficiently because we are so much better. And to some extent, we are doing things more efficiently, but there is some hubris there as well. Like some stuff just costs money. If you want to have a sufficient number of people to be on call and be ready if there is a problem to intervene, for instance, because some people are going to be in weekends, some other people are going in holidays sometimes, some people are going to be sick and so on. You need a much bigger team than what we have. And if you want to have that much bigger team and that is full-time working on the stuff, you need to pay them. And so just for that, we need like way more resources than we have. And in addition to this lack of resources, those resources are spread out to pit people against each other. And that is also a conscious choice, you know, like that stemmed from the culture of that space. There is this attraction to be the underdog and you know, be the revolutionary. And well, at some point you get to grow out of that. Like we did the revolution 2 years ago, and we need to stop. Like this was revolution time 2 years ago. Now it's building time. And if we don't switch to the building time and we continue to do the revolution constantly, then we won't go anywhere. And so those are the fact of the situation. The thing is, like, we need to find an order of magnitude more money if we are gonna compete sustainably in that market. And well, where is it gonna come from, right? Like, it doesn't seem like it's coming from the ecosystem itself. Plus, if it comes from the ecosystem itself, well, the flip side of that is that there is an order of magnitude less money to fund other stuff, right? And you'd rather see that funding go into like VC effort for companies that build stuff on top of BCH rather than pouring it into the protocol. because same thing, like we won't be competitive if we don't have people that build on top of it. And if we pour all our resources into the infrastructure, then we have nothing to build on top of it. So all in all, the strategy that we have right now, just like economically and financially, doesn't make sense. And anyone that wants to run the number objectively can see that, and that have any experience in building any kind of software infrastructure we'll see that, you know, the number really don't add up. And so so something need to give here somewhere. I'm not sure what that's going to be, but funding stuff with a part of the Coinbase would provide the kind of money that is needed, even if it's a few % of the Coinbase. So that's an option. But if people are going to oppose that, then they need to be very cognizant that the alternative that exists right now to that funding mechanism will not lead to any kind of success. They're just like way too, like the number are way too far off to give us any kind of long-term success option. And so, so yeah, that's probably the cost of ideology. I don't know, but or maybe people just don't realize what the numbers are. I don't know, but something needs to happen there if BCH is gonna you know, stay competitive.
It's really interesting that you're saying about funds when you said like maybe it could be also provided to because I believe if you have a fantastic blockchain but no apps is used, it's like having electricity without any houses using the and also yeah, the application makes the reputation of the blockchain, show also how the blockchain is powerful. So yeah, it's I think it's definitely really important to have application. And once again, like once I see well, once I don't critique like Bitcoin Cash node, no? Like I have some guys that I think I know in the SLP channel or something like this, but I saw they raised recently like a lot of funds. So basically there is a lot of funds in the community, but like any applications, me, I can see application is like try really hard to raise funds and it's really tough. And then when I see all these funds going for a node that we have, for a new node that actually we have already a lot of nodes in Bitcoin Cash, that I mean, we have everything. We have BCHD, a great node for application. We have Bitcoin ABC, Bitcoin Limited. That I mean is like we have a couple of nodes on BCH. And when I see all this funding, I think like VC or like personal, like business angels should really consider to start really funding applications seriously and really quickly, because I think like blockchain is I think today it's the best timing for product on blockchain for applications, and it's today. So that I mean is like if application doesn't success to reach the masses or to go to market and have success and to get successful story about to the world, like that I mean is like everybody will forget about blockchain, Bitcoin Cash, etc. So if we really want to make blockchain and Bitcoin Cash a success, we really need to start to believe in application built on Bitcoin Cash and start to fund them and to help to grow. So yeah, it's really something that I saw in the space. It has been really difficult for us, for example, on Honeypay, to try to find funding in the space. The reason why we are getting out of the space, but it could be great to see some change there and to start to support application. When I'm talking about Honeypay, not necessarily. I'm sure there is other great product in progress, but yeah, and just that I wanted to share about funding.
Yeah, so if I put myself in the shoes of a VC and I'm gonna talk to someone that is building something on top of BCH, well, my first question is gonna be like, why BCH rather than some other project, right? And the thing that's gonna come back to me as a VC is that this is an extra risk, because things are being built on an infrastructure that is funded on a shoestring. And VCs, like the community may not be aware of those numbers I just talked about, but VCs, this is what they look at. And they are very good at, like evaluating this kind of stuff. This is their core business. And so they're going to see, well, this is a community that is funding its infra to the order of 500K a year, and that consider that a great success. This is like this is a big red flag for stuff that VC specifically care about. And so that's a bit of an issue, I think. And that's probably one of the reasons it's difficult, right? Because really, you don't want to be like, oh, we need to fund the products, or no, we need to fund the infrastructure. Like the reality is that you need to fund both, because both depend on each other. And
Exactly.
if you don't fund both, then, the things is just not going to work. And so if you have limited resources and you need to fund those two stuff, and those both are pretty expensive, if you want to make that happen at scale, then we need to get smart and find creative way to get the money in, because the way it's happening right now, it's just not going to work. Like the only thing that it's going to achieve is that it's going to bankrupt the people that believe the most in BCH, which is exactly what you don't want. A successful system would do the exact opposite. It would ensure that the people that support it the most get richest over time, richer, or get the richest over time. And right now, this is not what's happening. And so the incentives are just not aligned, and it's not bringing it enough money to succeed with the objective that we set for ourselves. And we need to be very honest with that. Because VC are going to be very honest with that. VC, they don't invest in ideology. They invest in businesses. And they're going to look at all the numbers, especially the financial numbers, and do the calculation based on that.
So I promised Jean-Baptiste that we wouldn't take more than 60 minutes of his time.
Oh, it's fine.
Well, we have two more questions for you that I wanted to ask, and then if you need to go, you can we can let you go. But so first question from the chat: is Honeypoints written in Flutter?
Yes, exactly. Honeypay is fully written in Flutter, in Dart. Yeah, exactly. And the second question?
Is there any particular item on the roadmap that is important, on the Bitcoin Cash roadmap, that is important for Honeypay? Or does Honeypay just mostly rely on the long-term scalability of the Bitcoin Cash blockchain?
I will answer the second point. Yeah, I think I believe we have great engineers to think about it, to make things happening. I think we have all the same goal: the scalability, cheap and reliable transactions. So yeah, I think we are all aligned about the main goals that we try to reach. So yeah, I will definitely answer the second question. Sorry.
Cool. Excellent.
Well, I don't know. You'd be surprised. Like yesterday, I was reading this tweet from someone that is like a prominent person in the BCH community, and I don't want to publicize that because I think it's a terrible message. But basically, the message was like, oh, there are plenty of blockchain that claims to have very high TPS, and even though most of them are bogus claims, some of them are actually actual claims, right? And some of them have higher TPS than we do, and yet we are more successful than them, and therefore there is no point in increasing the TPS. This is not, that is not a success condition. I think this is extremely short-sighted. And as Jean-Baptiste just pointed out, like making sure that there is capacity going forward is very important. And infrastructure is a slow-moving beast. And so you want to make sure that, like if you do nothing, by the time you reach the capacity limit, it's not like you can change everything at the last minute. It's not going to be possible by then. First, because you won't have the people, right? Like the people that can do that, they need to be working on the system for a while to have enough of an understanding to know how to change it. Like, the same way, if you have an electric grid and suddenly you have a city that is like very big, that it's installed there, or a very big factory or whatever, you cannot just hire a bunch of people coming out of nowhere and revamp the grid. Like, it's just not gonna work. It's not how things happen, right? Like, because this is a technical job, and it requires specific knowledge. First, specific knowledge of how a grid works in general and what are the solutions, right? But also how this grid specifically has been set up. So you cannot do that, right? That just doesn't work. And so we need to stay ahead of this TPS stuff. Now, there is a point, like TPS is not the only thing that matters, but one thing that we know for sure is that if we don't have the TPS, then, like, if we're not interested in the TPS, then we can pack and go back to BTC. Yeah, TPS is transaction per second. We can pack and go back to BTC. I mean, it's better maintained. It's just like more people pour into it. It has more network effect and everything. So if we are like, the reason we separated from BTC is that they are not interested in growing the TPS. If we are not interested in growing the TPS anymore, then like we should go back. Like, the rational choices for businesses to go back to BTC then.
And to grow the transactions per second, we need to, increase the block size, right?
Well, it's not just that. Like, it's like saying, oh, if you want faster car, you need to increase the speed limit, right? But that's not how the word works.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, that's not like, that's extremely short-sighted as well. It's like people are like, oh, you just change the number and things get faster. No. No, the number is here for security reasons, because if you remove it, a bunch of stuff can go bad, and surely will go bad because someone is going to attack the system. Especially BCH is a target, let's say. So changing the number is like the easiest part of this whole stuff, right?
So what's the hard part?
Well, the hard part is fixing all the bottlenecks. And that part never finishes, right? Because you remove the bottleneck, then there is the next bottleneck.
Mm-hmm. For example, the mempool, right? That's part of it.
Yeah, mempool admission. The database level DB is originally made to save the settings in Chrome, right? And so that is what level DB was created for. And people have started using level DB for a bunch of stuff, including the Bitcoin UTXO set. And well, this is a bit more demanding than storing the setting in Chrome, let's say. And there are various design choices in level DB that makes it not ideal for that job. But it's not like we can rewrite the database system like that when we need it, any database system takes years to be put in place. So once again, this is something we need to.
Like, I think it's like, I guess
we need to get fixed. The mempool as well, yeah, but the mempool, same problem. Like, the mempool is really at the core of the node software, and so it interacts with every other part of it. So if we change how the workflow works in there to allow for higher capacity, then we need to change a bunch of stuff. And now we cannot rely on core anymore, right? Because core has been building stuff in a certain way. And so that means that our maintenance costs shoot up, right? But as we've seen before, we don't have that much money for maintenance. So what do, right? We do it, and then we can make a big announcement, but then, like 2 years later, everything falls apart because we have no money to maintain it. It's just, it's just not gonna happen that way. It's not serious.
Yeah, I guess getting back to that message about scalability, like it's basically it's like a necessary thing, but it's not a sufficient thing. And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you don't want to And looking at looking at your business, Jean-Baptiste, as an example, like you said, you've been working on this for a year or more, and you had you started working on a point of sale system, and then you pivoted and built it on Square and so on. So all these things take a long time. And if you're going to invest all that time and energy into building something, you want to have confidence. Like you want something that's good now, but also that you have confidence will be good in the future for growth. Like another example is like I just found out yesterday that Shema, with his project, his stamp project, his wallet, he's been working on that for a year now. So like all these things take a long time, people, if you want to, and we want hundreds of these projects being built on BCH. So
yeah, that means that not only people need to be able to trust that project going forward for a long time, but they need to be able to predict its direction.
Yeah.
Right. And this is why we have a roadmap, and this is why we are so insistent on following the roadmap, because then people can build their stuff and they can look at the roadmap and look at where things are today, and they know, they know what to expect, and they can set their business direction according to that. And so now they need to worry about their business, and they don't need to worry about the petty squabble that happen in the community to know if we're gonna do X or Y or whatnot. And that is where those petty squabbles are extremely destructive, like to an extent people don't realize. Because the fact that the outcome of those squabble is not predictable is just a non-starter for most businesses, because at the time scale at which they operate, they don't know when they have their product ready to launch, they don't know if what they have under their feet that pour their product is gonna look like what they want or not. And it doesn't even matter if the squabble is between two very good options. Like, do we want like caviar or foie gras? It doesn't matter, because the thing is, if I'm a business, I need to plan ahead on the fact that they're gonna be caviar or foie gras. And if I need to plan for both, then it's way more complicated for me. Or maybe I'm just not gonna plan because I don't want to invest the time to look into the petty squabble that's gonna lead to one or the other. And so this is probably the #1 stuff holding BCH back right now. We have a culture where someone is gonna put something together, make a big announcement about it, and someone is gonna be, oh, awesome, you like more developer doing stuff and whatever. But if those stuff doesn't fit in the roadmap, that's extremely counterproductive. That is a repellent for businesses that build on top of BCH.
Yeah, I think like everything is connected. That I mean is like you want to like we want some projects, for example, like Onipe shining, like making shine to the Bitcoin Cash blockchain, to make it like more popular, and it will be like same. Like for example, if we like. By the way, I just like announced like we are looking for a seed. We are looking for our seed round. So if anybody know business angel or VC or people are interested to invest in Onipe, just let us know. Contact us at hello@onipe.io. But like it's all about that. Like if you have a product application success on Bitcoin Cash get more reputation, and hopefully more funding as well. So everything, as you said, everything is connected. Like application and nodes both need to have funding to make like a great reputation to Bitcoin Cash, to the technology behind, and it all is together. So like if we have like successful project on Bitcoin Cash, we may have much more like projects like will come and said, we have this project is working like really great on Bitcoin Cash, so we can trust this blockchain, and they will come and jump on Bitcoin Cash and start to build product also on Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin Cash like it's everything is connected actually. So so I believe it's also like how I can say, like if we could like really focus in the funding, for example, like because it's a lot of dispatch today, like there is a lot of nodes, the funding is really dispatched between both, and if everyone is doing the small thing in their side with the small funds, it's really hard. I believe it's really hard to really reach some goals. And yeah, I think like being focused on some particular nodes could really like bring more funds to each node, and I believe more people working on it, and make things moving quicker actually.
%, absolutely.
Yeah, move quickly. That's a good idea.
Move quickly and break things.
It's really what need like businesses like once again, like as you said, Amaury, people need to trust. So need to trust, and if for example one person decide to not follow the roadmap and he create like something that he create instability, it's hard for business like to jump in this technology and say, well, no, they are too much unstable, there is too much politics in this technology, I should maybe not jump on it, we don't know, it can break tomorrow. And what happened next, like if it breaks, and finally kind of the founders, because
if it breaks, who do I call, right?
no, but yeah, there is also like where the founder will go, like because basically in each blockchain there is like kind of majority of people like funding blockchains, but these people, where they will go, which node they will choose, if they choose the node that me, I'm not on it, and because me, I will agree on this roadmap, I agree on this roadmap for my business. So if I agree on this roadmap on the business, and tomorrow the roadmap completely change without like necessarily notice me or come to me to talk about this, and finally disturb all my plan and maybe my product and maybe my business, I think it can be like a huge impact. So if we really want like to have businesses trusting, for example, Bitcoin Cash, yeah, we need definitely stability, and either having maybe some kind of politics. Yeah, sure, people need to talk, to discuss about what they want, how they want to implement things. I don't know, like, I don't know, especially which talk you have all each other. But I suppose not necessarily have noise, like in public, about if there is problem that I mean is, and I believe like it's something needs to be improved in this point, because like I kind of hear a lot of noise about Bitcoin Cash today, and yeah, so I think stability is a key, and really people need to understand that the stability is a key for businesses if they really want to have more and more application working on this technology.
So we have a question from the chat. So he says we just touched on a good topic, technical support. What is the general solution there for technical teams that find themselves out of their depth? So actually, there's going to be a help desk solution coming out very soon that can probably address that. Yeah, so he says that we have some Telegram groups for that, but yeah, I think this help desk that's coming out for Bitcoin Cash could be of great help there. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah. So you need to have some kind of support. That's a given. Yeah, that's a given. Like people will want support, and they will get it on other projects. Like if they build on top of Ethereum, for instance, they will get support for their stuff.
All right. Well, yeah, I feel like we're about at the 90-minute mark, so we might want to let Jean-Baptiste go. But does anybody have any final words to say for today?
Well, I guess I'll just say, like, we've kind of been talking a lot about problems, but we also have a big opportunity. So let's not forget that, like, we're actually in a pretty good, like BCH is actually pretty well positioned, I think. Like we have, good at like adoption, where people, there's a lot of positives too. But if we can get rid of, like, if we can seize the opportunity that we have, then, we could do great things. So I think that's where we're, like, it's frustrating to like have this huge opportunity and then have these roadblocks that are holding us back. So
ABC in
I don't
particular.
want to make people feel just like despondent about it. Like we should like see what we have a great opportunity to like, you know, like we said, like, you know, build like cash for the internet, you know, the best money the world has ever seen and all that stuff. So let's not lose sight of what we're after.
ABC in particular is extremely well positioned due to, you know, 3 years of hard work on things like testing, backporting. We are extremely well positioned to make rapid progress towards things like the mempool overhaul, Avalanche instant finality, and other really critical value adding functionality for Bitcoin Cash. And there is a huge amount of excitement in the Bitcoin Cash community about ground level adoption, about using SLP tokens to onboard people. HoneyPay is so exciting. There is so much that we can do here. You know, a lot of you know, other crypto projects may be more well funded, but I don't think there's any project out there that has more passion in it than Bitcoin Cash, and that's value. That has value because you know that Bitcoin Cash people are here. You know, we're going. I mean, we're going there. There's
So
no stopping us. You know.
Yeah. So just imagine if we have the passion and are well funded, what would we do?
Exactly. All right. Well, did you want to get in you want to give us the final words, Jean-Baptiste? Tell us again where to find out more about HoneyPay.
Yeah, sure. So don't hesitate to come to us, visit our website, so www.honeypay.io. We are in beta live today. You can already download our app, mobile app. You can register to the merchant portal. You can already register your favorite shop right now. It's open, it's available. There is some feature for sure is coming really soon, but there is many exciting features coming. Ambassador programs, please send us email, guys, hello@honeypay.io. We can let you know how it goes, the ambassador programs, even before the announcement, if you come to us and send us an email. And yeah, we are really exciting to see all your emails and see you contact us about what do you think, your feedback. And even if you find bugs, let us know. We are in beta live, and yeah, really exciting, really exciting. Thank you very much, guys, for welcoming me here. It was really a great opportunity for us to present the project to the community. And it was really great to be with you guys, core developers and organizers. I think you're doing fantastic job since the beginning. You're people that we can trust. You're moving forward. And yeah, we are in HoneyPay, we are really looking forward to work with you again and again and make things happening, because that is the biggest point, is making things happening, and it's happening today. So please, guys, follow us, Twitter also, Facebook. We are on social media. Please making sounds. Make some noise about HoneyPay. Thank you very much, guys.
Jean-Baptiste of honeypay.io. Thank you so very much for joining us. It has been our pleasure to talk with you today. Joining me, Anthony Zegers, I'm Maurice Séché, I'm George Donnelly. Thank you, everyone, so very much for your questions, for watching today, and let's keep building Bitcoin Cash. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Jean-Baptiste. Bye-bye.
Bye.